Kentucky and I have both changed a lot since my youth, but unfortunately, the changes the state currently faces can't be resolved with Accutane and 150 hours of community service.
Kentucky legislators passed one of the strictest anti-trans laws in the nation.
House Bill 300 would allow prosecutors to charge a woman with criminal homicide if she gets an abortion.
Police can't enforce any kind of federal ban on guns.
Banning gender-affirming care.
Taking aim at drag shows. Stifles free speech.
A trigger law.
Is a Second Amendment.
Make it stop, make it stop. These bills are getting shoved through like a fried chicken sandwich in McConnell's lipless mouth. But do Kentuckians really feel this way?
Absolutely not. Kentuckians are suffering because of their decisions. We could do things a lot better.
It's like our voices are falling upon deaf ears.
It's a lot of straight white men, a lot of older men.
I would say, and to Mitch in particular, that the vast majority of American people are sick and tired of the guns. Turtle face.
There's that Southern hospitality I miss. But she's right. Kentuckians aren't happy with their lawmakers. In fact, statistics have shown a majority support access to abortion, background checks on guns, and oppose the law on gender-affirming health care. So how is this happening? To get more insight, I met a local journalist who's shining a spotlight on the politics happening in conservative states. There's only one way to have this conversation, and that is over bourbon. So it's safe to say that a lot of these laws that are passing from extreme legislators are not reflective of the values of the people of Kentucky.
So my view is we're seeing an extreme Republican agenda because our legislators are governing not like Republicans, not like Kentuckians. If you look at the laws being passed in Kentucky, they're the exact same ones being passed in Florida or Mississippi. So these are much different states with much different priorities, but they have the exact same agenda because the Republicans in every state are just passing a list of things Donald Trump and other right-wing Republicans like and that are popular on Fox News.
You know what? Let's just keep this flowing. I don't want to see this glass empty. Where do we go from here? Is there any solution?
I think ultimately we have to, in the short term, shame them out of passing the most aggressive version of these bills. Criticize them enough to make sure that they are told when they go to church or when they go to the grocery store that you passed a terrible bill and acted like a bigot.
Are you sure that shame would work with Kentucky Republicans? I mean, look at Rand Paul. If I got my ass kicked in my front yard by my neighbor, I would never leave my house again.
I'm not saying it's a foolproof point, and I'm just saying that these legislators have to walk in public and live their life, and I do think you want to make clear that you have done something terrible.
It might be the drinks, but I have an idea. What if we made change through the power of song, through subliminal messages? We could write a country song.
No one's tried that yet.
No one's tried that. We'll sing it together. Okay, because we know how it goes. It goes, here in Kentucky, we got bourbon and horses and a woman's right to choose.
We have great education,
well-funded,
well-supported public schools.
Public schools. Oh, this is so good. Okay, we got to record this.
Does it count as being subliminal?
The irony is that even as the Kentucky legislature becomes more extreme, Kentucky's citizens are trying to bring the state together. Citizens like Edward Lee.
Edward Lee, an award-winning chef, founded the Lee Initiative, a nonprofit seeking to increase diversity and equality in the restaurant industry.
And he's achieving this on a national level as well.
Chef Edward Lee, owner of 610 Magnolia in Louisville, has been invited to the White House to cook for the U.S. and South Korea state dinner.
When it comes to politics, he has a more grassroots approach.
There are people in power here that have their agenda. But there's some belief in me where you stay and you fight the good fight and you build community and make sure that people do not feel marginalized, that people do not feel alone, that people do not feel like they're the only ones in this fight. And to me, that's stronger than any political movement. We have done dinners here where we have brought different groups at the table to sit down and talk things out. And I always say, at the end of the dinner, you still disagree. The only difference is now you see the other person as a human being.
Do you think this level of humanity and kindness and outreach that you do could ever exist in the Kentucky legislature?
They come here for dinner. I can ask them.
Has Mitch McConnell ever?
We don't serve and tell.
You don't serve and tell?
Here, we've been here 21 years. I'll say this. Everyone's been through here.
How many times have you spit in his food?
I don't spit in anyone's
I waited tables for 10 years.
Oh, that is against everything I stand for.
I know a thing or two about spitting in food.
Despite not taking my advice, Ed left me feeling hopeful, so I sobered up and hit the streets to see if other people shared Ed's vision.
You have to have hope, because otherwise you wake up and you live in fear, and that's not what we in Kentucky do. We get up and we go to work and we take care of our families and we're good to our neighbors.
When something bad happens in the state, everyone rallies together and the good fight still continues on.
We are the solution, and we truly have got to become much more forceful and active. I think we can make it uncomfortable enough for those who are in charge of the voting, who are in charge of representing us.
Yeah, make him uncomfortable. Slip him some laxatives, key his car,
No.
put a bag of shit on his doorstep, and light it on
You
fire.
know, the problem with that only makes me look bad. That would not achieve the goal I have.
Plus, it takes all that time to shit in the bag and light it on fire, transport it. It's a whole thing.
That's right.
Right. Thank you. You know where we can get some good bourbon around here?
Well, at my house, but...
Oh, lead the way. I'll
but
follow
I'm on
you.
my way to the library.
Oh, that's okay. I'll go with you.
Actually, you know,
I actually have a fine, if you don't mind picking up the tab. I've racked up quite the bill. You said Kentuckians are generous, right?